Each week we bring you all of the latest film news.
From interviews with filmmakers and actors to the new cinema releases.
Oh, it's a bit upsetting at the end, isn't it?
She was highly intelligent, the most intelligent person I knew.
She was so utterly authentic.
Amy, just give us a smile and then we can turn the camera off.
Do you promise?
She had such an emotional relationship to music.
You're becoming an artist in the public eye.
The more people see of me, the more they'll realise that all I'm good for is making music.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Arts Alive Film, coming to you from the Odeon Liverpool 1. My name's Tony Lindsay.
My name's Tony Lloyd.
So what have we got for him this week?
We've got an action-packed show this week. We have got Amy.
Fabulous.
We're looking at a horror film, Gallows.
The Gallows. And of course a report from the Salle Academy in Croxteth.
So it's in Croxteth.
Yes, we have a lot for you. Okay, so let's get started straight away with Amy. As if Capadia's follow-up to Senna. I don't know if you saw that, the documentary about the famous racing
Very good.
driver.
So what are we saying? I mean, really, anyone who's an Amy Winehouse fan will love it.
They've got to see it.
But it's sad. It's a tale on many
It's a cautionary
levels.
tale, isn't it?
I'll say, if you want to be famous, I'd have a little look at this before you go for that dream.
Yeah, you can see what the media throws at you. This is, I tell you what got me. I'd forgotten just how talented Amy Winehouse was until I saw this. I mean, this girl was not a precocious talent, but a young.
The opposite. I think she was just an innocent who said, "I've got a voice, and all I want to do is write and make songs." But the world just won't let you have it that simple, especially if you're that good. Because she talks early on, doesn't she, about does she want to be famous? And she says, "No, I just want to be a singer. I just want to be good at what I do." But you know, does that in today's market, does one go hand in hand with the other? I'm not so sure.
No, if you're in the spotlight, you have to take everything that the world throws at you, and she certainly did.
And she was a girl with problems, you know, split family, always wanted the love of her father.
Yeah.
And I know Mitch has come out and said that the film puts him in a bad light, bad representation, but I think he does an okay job at that himself.
Yes,
really.
Indeed.
I mean, at one point she's recovering. I think her husband's in jail. Blake is in jail. She goes to St. Lucia and she finds some peace there.
Yeah.
She's got this continual eating disorder and obviously
Bulimia.
a drug problem. And her father turns up, which she's over the moon with, but brings his own reality TV crew with him.
It's
and there's on-camera arguments, whispered off camera, what the hell are you doing? And you go, well, why would the father take her,
The guy was hungry for fame himself, I think.
Absolutely.
But the great thing about this, like all great documentaries, it lets you judge for yourself, okay? It doesn't throw up any...
Well, the structure of it and the way it's done is great. It's all home, virtually all footage which has been done home
mixed with some broadcast stuff.
Hats
off to Chris King's editing.
Absolutely, and it's just dialogue.
Yeah.
So you hear it from the people, and maybe when these recordings were made, you haven't had the camera in their face.
Yeah.
So they are they're intimate, so they're played over the footage. But what is beautiful is the music and the songs are sacrosanct, are they? Beautifully filmed,
absolutely,
incredibly. But there's so many kind of poignant moments. You know what we demand from a star, because someone's incredibly talented. They've got to be happy because they've got money. They're famous. They've got to be happy when it just
that moment where she's recording with Tony Bennett, Body and Soul, which is a gorgeous moment, and she's just saying how she wants to get it right for him. And you can tell that she's, and then that moment where she gets the big award and she gets her friend up on the stage and her friend tells you she sat there with her and Amy just looked at her and said, but it's nothing without the drugs.
It's not.
She
yeah.
was gone. She just reached that point.
And Tony Bennett, I think he has the last line, and it's an absolute stunner. And he just said, you know, to survive life, he says you can do it, but you just have to live long enough to be able to.
And he said, and if she had, she would have been one of the greats, and she certainly.
He
would
really
have been
did put her up there with the great jazz singers.
Fabulous talent.
And a great documentary.
Yeah,
you
recommend
go
it,
and see
folks.
it.
The thing is, I don't think I'm going to be at all famous. I'm not a girl trying to be a star. I'm just a girl that sings.
Okay, coming up next,
Scary time.
found footage.
The Gallows.
The Gallows.
Take a look at this opening scene.
Yeah, this place is super creepy at night. What do you think, man?
Let's just take this thing down and get out of here.
Copy that. Charlie. Come out and play.
Don't say his name! Charlie, Charlie, Charlie! Don't leave me here, Cassidy! Please come back!
Okay, so that's how it starts. Does it continue that way?
Hang on.
Hey?
I can keep. Can you hear that? Or... Did you hear that?
Yeah, just carry on. Just carry on.
Sure.
Yeah, just carry on.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so where was that? It gets worse.
I'm
School
not
production.
being funny. What the I've got to have a look.
What?
I've got to have a look. I've got to see what it
Mike.
is.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did.
Where's Sean?
There's
Sean?
Mike's camera. Oh, what's going on?
Where the hell's Mike? Is it on?
I don't know.
Mike!
We're going to have to... This review, we're going to have to do it, because I don't know what the...
Okay, found footage, horror film, supernatural.
Life repeating life.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a real fan of found footage films, and you know, from the big giants of, you know, paranormal.
What was that? Is it on?
I don't know. I
Well,
think
look,
so.
just sit back, Joe. Let's get it done. Let's go.
Yeah, okay. The Gallows.
Okay, The Gallows. Supernatural found footage thriller.
I love the genre found footage.
Travis Clough and Chris Lofring write and direct this. They're ex-visual effects guys.
I think that shows, though.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the phenomena of the found footage film is great, isn't it? You know, everyone can film on their phones. Everyone seems to have a home video or, you know, a camera on their computer, and all of that is utilised. You know, when you look at Blair Witch, yeah, Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity. I mean, they're the ones who
they're the best, aren't they?
They're the best. They led the way. A Grave Encounters is another one. They did a sequel to that.
I think this is the, pardon the pun, but I think this is the final nail in the coffin.
Do you?
Yeah. You got 4 unknowns. Apparently they did their own stunts. Unfortunately, they did their own acting.
Yeah.
You got the sport. What?
I'll just speed this up. I want to get on.
You got the sports jock. You got the, as you saw on the little intro there, a school production goes disastrously wrong. The lead guy is hung by this gallows. 19 years later, they redo the play. for students go in to the haunted school and things start again.
I mean, you've heard it all, haven't we? They deconstruct the set gets rebuilt. They say never say his name, a la Candyman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all.
What?
What's up? If you're a maestro of horror, you will second guess virtually everything. But if it's a first forage into the genre or horror, then you might get something out of it. But it's a bit. Kind of a little bit more nastier.
I know, it is. We've seen it all before. There's nothing new in this production. There really isn't. It's a New Line bought this off the guys. And they knew what they were doing. It's easy money. It hasn't got great reviews anywhere.
There's a classic, there's a franchise on its way. There's a so-called twist at the end, but you'll see the twist coming. And for me, the genuine big scare, which was quite a nice scene, is completely diluted because that scene has become the trailer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyone seeing the trailer for Gallows is going to see this. I don't know about you, Tony. I want to go now. Come on.
Go anyway.
Come on, let's go. Let's just get out.
Where are they?
I don't know. This is
you can't leave them.
This is ridiculous. Here they are. Where the have you been?
Hey. Well, that's it for part 1. Coming up, part 2, a report from De La Salle in Croxteth.
I'm gonna have to go to the lab. I'm on the toilet. Hello and welcome back to part 2, coming from over in Liverpool 1.
Next up, a report from De La Salle Academy in Croxteth. Take a look at this.
My name's Sheila Trotter, I'm Head of Film and Media Studies at the De La Salle Academy. We are a specialist media academy. So basically Ellie came to me and said that the NHS wanted to have a group of students make a film about girls who are on the periphery of gang crime and how it affected their sexual health. So girls who end up in prostitution or taking drugs or sometimes getting sexually transmitted diseases. So I spoke to the majority of these guys here are film or media studies students, but some of them are just people who were interested and volunteered, and they've taken the whole process under Ellie's guidance through from script to the editing. And of course tonight we have the film premiere.
I was a gang member for the gang, but I was also there during the script writing, but I didn't really have a major part in that.
Myself, I was a gang member, the compulsive texter. I helped out slightly with the script writing, but that was generally down to the rest of the gang.
I was a part of the gang as well, and I played a few punters as well.
We're generally happy-go-lucky people around here. It's weird to try and get in the mindset of people like to bully and do drugs and various other bad things.
Illy has brought out the best in them, and some of the people who have been quite shy starting out have actually become very, very confident. And in fact, the main role in the film, Budgie, is a young man who's very, very shy and very, very quiet. But in the film, you wouldn't think that because he's quite aggressive. So it was a real success for him.
I was one of the main actors in Irish Budgie. It's a new sort of territory for me. I'm not like a sort of horrible, nasty sort of guy like this guy is, so to do something different and to go from not being yourself is interesting and fun.
I was involved in writing the script. I fractured my foot when we were filming, so I couldn't be in it, but I was meant to be Lucy.
The people here that's been involved in the film are not people who are involved in the gang culture, you know. I mean, in the same way you or I walking down the street to where we live were aware of people in gangs, so we're touched by it from a distance. But that's what made the film really good, because they completely got involved in the role, and there's a lot of discussion went around it. And the key thing that came out of it was raising awareness amongst the boys and myself about how girls are affected.
I've learned a lot about like how girls are involved in gangs. Like, I didn't realise that they were sort of on the periphery of it. I just, like, you'd see girls out with gangs when you're walking around, but you never really thought that they had some kind of involvement. So it just sort of taught us that they have quite a big part in it, and that it's an issue that needs to be sorted.
It's not a very well-known topic, girls being in gangs and how they're really affected, so when Miss Trotter told us about it, we were all pretty keen to help out and spread awareness.
I'm really looking to get into like the media industry, so this is like a foot in, but also like Jake has said, I want to try and spread the message to help girls in gangs and try and spread awareness to make people understand that this is out there and it's something we need to sort out.
With not being involved in gangs, I don't really know much about them, but looking at it, girls are really growing into gangs, and it's not something that people know a lot, and people need to know that.
I just hope that it shows people like that girls are involved and that they can be sort of manipulated into something, and I hope it just sort of teaches people, like, if they see the warning signs of being in a relationship that could get them into these sort of circumstances, that there's the danger, like getting STDs or getting into drugs or prostitution in some circumstances.
Generally to spread awareness, whether it be to people who are outside the gangs and see stuff like this happening to people, or whether it be people who are having this experience personally, so if they can understand that they don't have to go through it. There's always someone there to help them out, whether it be friends, family, teachers, GP, just someone, so we can help people out and understand that they're not alone.
We tend to think of gangs as being boys, and we don't think about the girlfriends and how they're used. So I think we all learnt something from it, and Illy brought an awful lot out of the students, you know, where at first we started a very quiet discussion. Eventually the students took over, and one of the girls, Rachel, she was really proactive in the script writing and should have taken the main role, but she broke her leg just before we were filming.
I hope it's educational for both the girls and the lads, really, and it shows them that, you know, being in a gang might be great or fun at the time to them, but it'll never work out well. They'll always get caught and it'll always end badly.
I think it's two things. I think it's raising awareness with young people about the dangers of getting involved in gangs, particularly young girls, and the knock-on effect to their lives. But I think it's also raising awareness amongst people in education, teachers and GPs, that if a girl goes to the GP and they have maybe a sexually transmitted disease, it might just be from something more than, you know, a single relationship that she's getting that. So it's a training aid. The NHS wanted to use this, so GPs were made more aware as well.
Next acting gigs, or the gigs for the summer, acting-wise?
Hopefully. Don't know. Starring role with Tom Cruise, perhaps. Never know.
Not an acting role per se, but like I've joined a drama group recently, but while I've been off and doing stuff, so hopefully that might develop into something more.
No, same as Jake, really.
Hope so. Found it fun. Hope so.
I'd like to do something along the lines of script writing. I think I'd look at that when I was in university.
You excited about tonight then?
Can't wait, yes. Really looking forward to it.
Is there any more screenings after tonight, or is this the only one?
Just initially this is the first one, but it will be going around other schools, so other schools will benefit from it. So.
Get us a chocolate raisin. Oh,
Anyway, that's it for this edition of Arts Alive
It is.
Film.
What's special about next week?
Summer holidays.
Stay up late, get up late.
Some great films coming your way, Minions, and of course the new Pixar, Inside Out.
You are going to love it.
Here's the sneak preview. Take a look at this.
See you next week.
Heads up, everybody! It's showtime!
Grab shell, dude!
Ready?
Ready!
Oh boy, oh boy! Let's go!
it.
You got a problem, buddy? Do you?
Where is my super suit?
Spit that out right now! You mean you don't like me?
So long, partner.
I'm joy. This is sadness. That's anger. This is disgust. And that's fear.
Look out!
Come on, group hug. You too, anger.
Don't touch me.